Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back doing your sex and relationships monthly tarot horoscopes. This is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Gemini. And just so you guys know, I'm using the Decameron Tarot deck, and the Decameron Tarot deck is, is an erotic deck, okay? So this video is intended for people who are 18 or over, a mature audience, and there's graphic sexual content and nudity and language. So, you know, this is the sex deck. So for those of you who are looking for like a regular horoscope, I'm sure there's, you know, other videos out there, and I will be back doing my mid-September readings with my regular deck. So don't panic if this isn't for you, but I'm just giving you the disclaimer ahead of time that this is, you know, really a sex-oriented and relationships-oriented deck. Okay, so that said, let me roll out your spread and see what we have for you. And this is again for the month of September 2015. This is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in Gemini. Okay. All right. Some interesting stuff here, Gemini. Interesting stuff. Okay. So, I'm trying to think. You may be in a relationship with a Pisces, or Taurus, or even Aries. I don't remember now. I strongly feel like you're in a relationship with a Taurus, but Pisces or Aries as well. So let me start in the beginning. Okay, I'm going to start with the first card that is in the center of everything. And this is the card, I think the first card that Pisces got actually too. And this card is about, you know, I think of it as someone who's very envious about other people who have a relationship. So this is someone who like dreams about having a relationship but doesn't know the first step, or doesn't take the first step in actually having a relationship. This is someone who's very like, you know, outside looking in kind of thing. And this is a lot of times a person that, you know, it's that idea of looking into a window and seeing what somebody else has and wanting what they have, you know. Or even having your eye on somebody. A lot of times this is having your eye on somebody and that you really like, and you know, watching them from afar, from a distance. And this would make sense for Gemini because there's distant, you know, I mean, you know, Gemini is an air sign. So there's, you know, air signs are really good at distance. They're really good at putting, you know, distance between themselves and the outside world, actually. So it's just, there's this natural disconnect that air signs really have, I feel, with other people and with their environment. They're just naturally kind of disconnected. And Gemini is more than any other sign, I feel like, in the zodiac, because they're just, I feel like they're a lot farther out than even like an Aquarius might be, although, you know, Aquarius comes really, really close to the Gemini, but the Gemini is, maybe it's because the Gemini has the two, the twins, and so because there's two, it's like they're doubly far out, okay? It's like their energy's far out, their mind is far out, they're just not really connected as much to other people or to the environment around them. It's like they naturally have their feet off the ground all the time. So anyways, I'm going to read this card. It says, wanting what others have, but not knowing how to go about it. Courage is needed. Don't be shy. This is a shy guy who should try to date more. Would make a great partner who's faithful and loyal, but may wish to experiment before settling down or committing to one person. This can indicate a woman who envies others' joy and ability to have sex or be in a couple. Okay, I think that's all that I wrote there. So yeah, I mean, I kind of talked about that. So you kind of may have like a crush on somebody, you know, from afar. You know, that's kind of how I'm feeling. It's like a crush. You may also be in some kind of long distance relationship where there's distance, literally distance between you and the other person. Although I feel like a lot of you who are single, this is you looking at the world and saying, why can't I have what everybody else seems to have? Why can't I have a serious relationship? Or why can't I have you know, a loving, loyal partner? Why can't I have, you know, a happy marriage? These kinds of things are kind of coming up. You're crossed by this card, which is actually a very interesting card. You know, to me, it's really about how he's really into it, but she's really not, okay? And she's like trying to get into it, but she's not, okay? It says the man wants more than his girlfriend or wife, okay? His passion and desire do not match hers. He tries to get into it by making an effort, but is disappointed. Okay, he's disappointed mainly because she's not into it, okay? So again, it's that reflective, you know, kind of thing. It's a marriage in my mind that's kind of gone cold, okay? This is a woman who is not into sex at this time, is focused on other things, can mean unfulfilled desire, okay? So again, you may have a desire for someone and it's your passion is unfulfilled. You know, strong passion for someone, okay? But this to me is really just a marriage that has gone cold, a relationship that's gone cold. You want to do it. Your partner doesn't want to do it that much. When they do it, it doesn't even feel like they're into it. They're just kind of like going through the motions. They're kind of like, okay, when are we going to get this over with kind of thing? And you're like, what the hell? Like, when did this start? When did it happen? When did it become, when can we get this over with? You know what I mean? It's not the kind of happy sex life that you would want, okay? So yeah, so to me, it's like an imbalance, a partnership or a marriage that's just one person wants to do it and the other person really doesn't. Or the other person is really distracted by their work. I feel like to me, this is somebody who's working. This is primarily, I feel like this is a woman who's very career oriented, okay? And this woman does not have time for getting it on. She doesn't even really want to get it on. To me, this is someone who has, I want to say a little bit of hormonal deficiencies. There are some people that just don't have the hormones. So they just don't feel sexy. They just don't want to have sex, you know? And if you are in a partnership with this person and they're focused on work or they're focused on other things, getting them to have sex with you is going to be a real challenge because they don't even really want to. Like, even if you weren't involved, they wouldn't want to. Say they were single. This is the kind of person that could be single for like 100 years and not want to have sex. They may want to have like sex maybe once or twice when they fit, like when they go on vacation, when they have time. This is the wife that doesn't want to have sex, that would have sex with you once a year, and she would be fine having sex once a year. This is the guy who, or the husband who wants to have sex like 5 times a week, you know, or more, or every day. So there's a serious disbalance there between what your partner wants is sex-wise and what you want, okay? This is where cheating comes in because, and I say that because someone's having, you know, in the recent past, someone's having like what you might call a full-blown affair. This is a full-blown affair. They're a full-blown affair because both partners here know about it at some level. They know that the two people their partner is involved with somebody else. So this is what was going on in the recent past. There's a full-blown affair. This is where two people can't seem to stop fucking even when they know it's selfish. This is unfair to everyone. Creates bad karma. Do not get involved unless the person is single, okay? And I wrote, sometimes the need to fill what's missing in our relationships becomes overwhelming. Sometimes there's a need to be bad, okay? Ultimately, these people need to love themselves first, okay? So sometimes people just want to be bad. right? And they just want to go out and do whatever they want. And sometimes there's really like something's missing in a relationship, and they go and try to fill it. It's like a hole, right? And they try to fill it with somebody else and or with another relationship, whereas they need to kind of just get out of the partnership because they're in the first place, because it's not fulfilling. Okay, that's the main thing. But people choose to remain in marriages even if there's some disbalance, sex-wise or otherwise, because they just don't want to change, or because they don't want to start over, or because they don't want to be alone. And so this is where, Gemini, I would tell you that better to get out of this partnership, better to leave, okay? Because there's cheating going on. There was full-blown cheating going on where people just, you know that somebody else is having an affair. You know that your partner's cheating on you. You know, because there's all the signs and symptoms that go into it. So you really just know. And I feel like some of your cases, it's you that wants to have more sex than your partner. Or you feel more passionate, okay, in general. Maybe your hormones are, turned on, which is normal, okay? And I feel like in this card, this card here, this is where if you're a male Gemini and you're in a partnership with a woman, it's you that is more horny than she is, okay? And she's focused on other things. But for some of you Geminis, it's the Gemini females that are involved in some kind of cheating love triangle, okay? Because we also have this card here, crowning you, which is a girl who's cheating with a guy. You can't even see his face. Who she's like she's along for the ride. She's just going along with the flow, okay, going along for the ride. And so the problem here is that she eventually is going to become heartbroken because eventually she's going to fall in love. It may take her some time, and this may be you Gemini females. It may take you some time, or it may have taken you some time to fall in love with this person. So maybe in the past you started a relationship with a guy and you weren't even really thinking about it, but you became involved with somebody who was already involved with somebody else. And eventually you're going to get hurt. Either you're already getting hurt now or you will get hurt later, because this is a lose-lose situation. Basically, you're going to be happy until you fall for him. You will fall for him eventually, okay? And because the short-term affair cannot become a long-term affair. Once it becomes a long-term affair, then the problems get bigger because you're not getting anything really out of it anymore. You might still be getting sex out of it, but eventually people become frustrated with not being able to have more to the relationship, okay? So this is where I would tell you to get out now, get out in the beginning, pull out, because this is just like, only going to become an issue. If you're a female Gemini, it's only going to become an issue later, okay? And okay, so if you're a Gemini guy and it's your partner, it's a female partner and she's the one that's cheating, she's being very selfish and she just wants the power, okay? And some of you Gemini females aren't in a partnership and you're, with a guy and there's another person involved, there's another girl involved, and you want the power. Ultimately you want the power. You want him to choose you. Okay, you never want to get into a situation where there's a choice involved like that, because that just means that you don't love yourself enough. And this goes back to this whole, in the beginning, goes back to this card. You need to love yourself first, okay? Because you wouldn't want to be chosen if you really loved yourself. You would know that you were worthy of love no matter what. You would know that it wouldn't, you shouldn't have to be a choice, and you respect yourself more enough to not put yourself in a situation where there is a choice, So that's crucial for you, Gemini, really crucial. And I feel like there's an element of waiting here, okay, because this is a card in the immediate future, where the girl is, you can see she's laying on a bed, she's got all these scars hanging out, and she's wearing a mask, and this card, it says, unending passion and fantasies that are lived out and played out in a relationship that has enough excitement to last a lifetime. Desire for sex and games in the bedroom. Get it on. Sex makes people happy. That's what I wrote. It says, time to get it on. Waiting comes to an end. So I feel like there is some element of waiting here, but there again, to me, it's waiting for your lover to show up so you can have sex with them. Or waiting for your lover to leave their partner so that you can be with them. There's all this, to me, it's like a cycle. If you're in a healthy relationship, then one of your fantasies is to kind of do some more experimental, exploratory, games in the bedroom, or fantasies in the bedroom, like, wearing a mask, or, I think of this as the 50 Shades of Grey card, where there's a lot of, accessories, whips, chains, top ropes, all that kind of stuff. This is where, and the thing is, Gemini is such a fun sign that this makes sense. This really makes sense for this to come up for you, Gemini. So I would say, even if you are just fantasizing, you're not even having sex at all, this is you, okay? Especially Gemini females, okay? This could also, be a Gemini guy who's waiting to be with someone who's in a relationship where the girl, is also, I feel like the girl would also be waiting too for some reason. But two people wanting to be together, you guys are going to come together at some point here in the future. It's going to happen. But I do feel like you're in a cycle, okay? Now, the foundation here is, I see this as someone who's like a player, or someone who spends a lot of money, who doesn't care about how much money they spend. When they go out and they spend money on eating out or on dating, they're just not really cautious of the budget. This is like a high roller. So some of you Geminis are high rollers, and you like to spend money. This is where Geminis might become a little miserly, because they like to, this is, you wanting to have fun, and maybe you spent a lot of money recently, or in the past you spent a lot of money, and now you're kind of recovering. On the other side, because you have this card as well, and you have both of these together here, it's the same guy, but two different women, It's this, it's almost the same horse. It looks like it could be almost the same. Could be two different horses. Could be two different people, two different situations. But I feel like it's the same guy, two different women. So if you're single, you may have been dating around. You may have broken up this blonde chick to be with this red-haired chick, or this brunette. And, if you're watching this for a Gemini, and you're in a relationship with a Gemini, this is where I tell you he is the player, okay? This is where I say, this guy is really looking for a good time, okay? Not committed, not wanting to commit. This is someone who's, wants to sleep around, wants to try to experiment. Also, this is a girl that, is involved with him that just wants fun. This is also can indicate you're young, you may be in your early 20s, that's watching this. People that are just wanting to kind of get it, need to have sex, that kind of want to get it out of their system. So this may have been like this is you in the past, where you were very young and you were just hooking up with this one person because you wanted to experiment, and see about relationships. But the guy in this, to me, is a player, okay? Or this just indicates someone who's would take you out, spend a lot of money on you, have sex with you, and then never call you again. So Where was I going with this? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, so in the position of emotions, you got one of the money cards. And not there's very few money cards that come up in this deck. But this to me is a wealthy woman and or a wealthy guy or just having focus on money. He's basically giving this girl a hand job, and this is like he's kind of teasing her, I would say. You know, this is teasing, tantalizing foreplay. This is a woman. The woman may have money, the man may have money. Don't let money come between you. There's mutual respect in career choices, in general, and this makes the desire for the other person more intense. This is like meeting someone and they have their career and you have your career, and there's a respect there. There's respect for what you're doing. So two people that are working, I kind of see that. There's like a mutual understanding. It's kind of like not even about their careers. It's the fact that, you know, whatever it is that they're doing in life, there's a respect of what they're doing, okay? So even like someone who's not working, for example, you meet a guy and he respects the fact that, you know, you're a stay-at-home mom for whatever reason, you know, or you've been a stay-at-home mom and now you're getting back out to the workplace, you know. That's kind of how I see it. I don't see it as being, it's a very positive card. I don't see it being a negative at all, okay? And the thing is, together, you may meet a guy or a girl that has money, and together you'll have either you and your partner have a lot of money together, or you will meet someone and together you'll have a lot of money. It just, to me, money plus money equals more money. That's kind of this card, you know. But there's a respect there. There's an understanding. You can talk about money easily. You can, you know, share your money very easily. There isn't any issue in the relationship about money at all. And this is also being given, you know, giving a gift of cash to someone too. So that has come up a couple of times, and I have seen that before, where it's a gift of cash. I want to warn the ladies and say, you know, you don't want to give out money in the hopes that somebody's going to like you more. You know, this is where you want to, I mean, maybe you gave a guy some cash because, you know, you loaned him some money, but I feel like he's very appreciative if this is the case, but I would just be careful about getting too, you know, making your relationship too much about money, okay? It's like too much about business. Like, you may be in a relationship where there's too much focus on business, on what you're doing with your career, what they're doing with their career, the money aspect, who's buying what car, you know what I mean, who, you know, paying the bills. There's not enough sex involved. You need to have more sex. That's what I'm telling you, Gemini. That's what I always tell Gemini. Gemini's like, I know, I do. So anyways, you know, it's funny I was talking about the career card, because this is a woman who is very focused on money in her career, okay? So I'm not even really going to talk more about it. This is the card that comes after that. That's what the universe is saying. It's saying, you know, this is a woman who's very focused on money and career. She needs to get back out there and start dating again. That's in the future, okay? Towards the mid to end of September. Now, you have, you know, this is a fantasy card. It's very interesting because there's not really any sex going on in this card, but you can see it's a castle and there's poppies and it's a beautiful field. This is, you know, the card in the position of your emotions. The card in the position of your attitude in the future. Okay, so late September. Okay, this is wanting a harmonious sex life, or the fantasy to want to do it outside, perhaps in a garden, among the tomato plants, on a hillside in Florence, Italy. Passion, wild side, to want to drive out into the woods and fuck with the deer. Hormones can cause strong physical urge to be outside like an animal, okay? So this is like animal, you know, again, it's so funny I was talking about hormones earlier. This is you being kind of horned up. And having some strong animal desires. To me, this is like basic instincts, basic animal drive to have sex. You know, that's where you're at, okay? And that's your attitude. You're just like, in a way, you're kind of unapologetic about it. You're kind of like, I just gotta have it. I just have to go out and get it, you know? Just kind of your approach. It's funny. So, anyways, the outcome is this card, which is kind of interesting. You can see, you can't really tell if he is grabbing her butt or if he's really going in between, which would be grabbing her crotch. It says, unexpectedly, the guy makes a move on a girl, okay? Or cops a feel, okay? This is, or he really wants to. The girl has similar feelings and strong desire for physical contact, for fun, or much fantasy about someone. This is about the first kiss, or first move, or first date, to dream about hooking up with someone, okay? So this is like, you know, someone catches your eye and you're like, I really want to be with this person. And then you go into all these fantasies about driving out of the woods and having sex with the deer and marrying a millionaire and 50 Shades of Grey and, you know, you just want to you just like are dreaming up the first kiss. So to me, you're a real dreamer, Gemini. And I do feel like, you know, there is someone that wants you at the end of September. It's sort of unexpectedly, you know. There's a certain element of surprise here. This is where a guy kisses you and you're like not expecting it at all. Okay, so be kind of forewarned that may happen. This is a hookup that's unexpected but really enjoyable. Okay, and you know, this card. This is where my Aquarius imagination kind of comes in. This card can be seen as just a kiss or just someone copying a feel, or this card can be seen as a guy or girl makes a move and then suddenly you're having sex in the woods. You know what I mean? You go to the park and suddenly he kisses you and then the next thing you know, the clothes are off and you're doing it. So it's like, it can go from 0 to 60, or 0 to 10, okay, in 2.0 seconds. So let me know how fast it's gone here, because Geminis are the ones in the zodiac that things happen at like lightning speed, okay? This is where suddenly your panties come off and you don't know how they came off and you're hooking up with a guy that you don't even really know that well. So just keep it in mind, Gemini, that this is how it is. Guys too, you know, girl could, you know, make a move, you know. Gemini guys are a little bit more, I think, passive. No, don't take that the wrong way, Gemini, but I feel like if you came with like a strong, you went out with a strong Capricorn female or Taurus female, she might take the reins, okay? She might be like, okay, let's just, are you going to kiss me or not? You know, like that song. So that may be her. So if you're going out with someone at the end of September, really be forewarned that bring a condom, because chances are you're going to have sex. That's kind of how I see it. It may not just be a simple hookup. If you're hanging out with someone, I feel like there's definitely possibilities for it to become much more than friends very quickly, okay? So that's what I'm going to say. So, and I'm going to leave it at that note, and I'll be back mid-September for more videos, and I appreciate so much your subscribing and liking my videos and sharing my videos. Yeah, I really enjoy, every, client that I have. I mean, it's just so fun. I still can't believe I'm doing this full time, and I love what I do. So anyways, be in touch. If you'd like a private reading, feel free to email me, elizabetholson31@gmail.com, and I will be back again for more. So I send you big hugs, big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay, take care.